This is it, race fans, as we welcome you back here to the Funkhauser Diecast Racing League here at the old Yadkin Valley Speedway. It is time for us to bring you the final group of round one of the Midnight Club Tournament, sponsored by Merch by Meekin.
Well, it's about dang time. We know all you race fans didn't come to see the infighting. You came to see those muscles beat up on those tuners.
Well, I can't say you're going to be right about that, Ricky, but you are right. This is the last time you'll see the infighting. So enough talking. Let's get down for these driver introductions for Team Tuner. Up first for Team Tuner, driving a 1999 Honda Civic Type R, weighing in at 56.1 grams. For Live Young Diecast, it's Lone Star. Starting in the second place spot, driving a 2019 Mazda 3, weighing in at 47 grams. For MQH Racing, it's Boondocks. Be sure to stand up and salute as starting in the third place spot, driving a 2001 Acura Integra GSR, weighing in at 57 grams. For Old Neil Performance, it's Old Sarge. And finally, starting in the fourth place spot, driving a 1994 Nissan Skyline GTR, for Merch by Meekin Racing, it's Gringo Loco.
It's Godzilla! Now, geez, here we go. I was wondering how long was going to be in the imports before we had a kaiju movie reference.
Oh, wow, Ricky, I'm surprised you even know what a kaiju movie is.
Well, of course I do. I had an Asian girlfriend once. Of course, I had to dump her because she kept eating everything in my fridge.
No, I know I'm going to regret this. What was her name?
Chin too fat.
Nah, jeez. Anyways, as race one is already underway, Lone Star has gotten a commanding lead as he just takes off and leaves the other drivers behind. As there you see Boondocks is trying to keep up with him as he goes on the two wheels through the chicane. Here we come down to the final stretch. It's going to be Lone Star taking race one. As they come down, it's going to be Boondocks taking race two, followed by Old Sarge.
Oh, and it looks like Gringo Loco decided to take a detour straight into the wall.
Would you please not interrupt me while I'm trying to give the race results?
Oh, come on, like we didn't see that one coming.
Oh, come on, Ricky. Anyways, there you see Gringo Loco sitting there on the front stretch. Let's go and check out the first Merch by Meekin replay of the night. As here you see Lone Star with a commanding lead going through turn two. Keep your eyes on Boondocks behind him. As he goes through the chicane, he goes on two wheels, but he's able to save it.
Meanwhile, out in front, there you see Lone Star pulling away as the other drivers are trying their best to catch up to him.
As we go to the final stretch, Cam, here you see Gringo Loco coming out of turn four. He overcorrects as his car hits the outside retaining wall. Then he slams into the inside retaining wall as his car gets spun around and he comes to a stop for the first DNF of the night.
As we put down the first points of the night, there you see Lone Star sitting on top of the board with 5 points, followed by Boondocks with 4, then you can see Old Sarge with 3, and Gringo Loco sitting at the bottom with 0.
Well, I wouldn't count him out quite yet as we still have 3 races left to go as it's time for Team Tuner Race 2.
The only hopes that Godzilla car has to do better is if he learns how to blow blue flames out his butt.
Ricky, if you're quite done talking about blue flames coming out of people's rear ends, we have a race to get down to as Boondocks is in the front. Oh, I spoke too soon. He's up on his roof as there you see Lone Star. Boondocks just got slammed again by Gringo Loco as they come down to the line. It looks like Lone Star is going to take race 2, followed by Old Sarge in second.
Oh, and I know Boondocks has definitely got to be feeling after that hit, but of course, can you expect anything more from Godzilla to destroy everything in his path?
Oh, come on, Ricky. You and I both know that Gringo Loco did not purposely drive into Boondocks. Speaking of which, here we see the emergency crews check in on Gringo Loco as well as checking in on Boondocks, who's being pulled out of the car as it's being put back up and on all 4 wheels.
Where's my top-notch Appalachian Weaver crew checks in on him? Let's check in on this replay.
That actually makes me more concerned for him. But anyways, as we watch him go down into the chicane, his car gets pushed by Lone Star as he goes up and over as he gets pushed down the track. As there you see Lone Star going past him, but keep your eyes on him as here comes Gringo Loco slamming right into him as he tries to get underneath Old Sarge.
Of course, we know that was hard for some of you fans to watch, so we're definitely going back and watching that again.
Of course we are. As there you see Boondocks helpless as he gets pushed down the track by Lone Star, as here comes Gringo Loco slamming right into him, lifting him up and off the track. Let's watch it from the turn 3 angle as here you see Gringo Loco coming down, slams right into him, and he almost hits the food trucks. Then you see Gringo Loco. Now it looks like he's lost control of his car as he loses it right there, exit of turn 3.
Now let's update those scores for the second time, as there you see Lone Star sitting on top of the board with 10 points. Right behind him is going to be Old Sarge with 7, then it's going to be Boondocks with 4 points, and would you look at that, 2 goose eggs for Gringo Loco.
Ricky, I really don't think it's a great idea for you to be making fun of our sponsor's car, which, by the way, if you're looking around the track, all the great signs you see have been provided by Merch by Meekin.
Leave it to you, Funk, to to put a plug in the middle of a race.
Hey, gotta put them in when you can, and take a look at Old Sarge taking a lead, being pushed by Lone Star.
Lone Star bump drafting him through the chicane. Down in that turn 3, he is all over his rear bumper.
Oh, but Old Sarge breaks free as he comes down to the line. Oh, huge wreck.
That one definitely looked like it hurt.
Lone Star gets struck by both Boondocks and Gringo Loco as he's up on his roof just before the finish line.
Okay, now I'm definitely convinced. Gringo Loco doesn't care about finishing these races. He just wants to cause as much chaos and carnage on the track as humanly possible.
Okay, whether you believe that or not, it's completely irrelevant at this point, as there you see Lone Star sitting on top of his roof. Let's go ahead and check out this replay. Watch him come out of turn 4. Here you see him getting turned sideways, as there you see Gringo Loco just slams right into him first. Then Boondocks hits him, pushes him completely over, as there you see Gringo Loco just barely makes it across the line.
And of course we have to go back and watch that one more time, as here you see them coming out of turn 4. Gringo Loco, with no regard for anyone else's life, just slams right into him as they come across the line. Boondocks miss it clean, as there you see Gringo Loco hits him one more time.
Ricky, you say that like Gringo Loco had anywhere else to go. Anyways, let's check out the leaderboard one last time, as there you see, sitting on top of the board now, it's Old Sarge with 12 points, followed by Lone Star with 10. Then it's going to be Boondocks with 8, and Gringo Loco, unfortunately, out of contention.
And it's time for the final race.
Here they go down the backstretch for the final time in the turn 1 there, neck and neck between Old Sarge and Lone Star. Lone Star has the edge, and he takes the lead down in the turn 2.
Boondocks trying his best to catch up, but Lone Star looks like he's just going to pull away with this one as they go down the super stretch, heading down the turn 4.
As they come out of turn 4 for the final time, it's going to be Lone Star taking a win, followed by Boondocks. Then it's going to be Old Sarge and Gringo Loco bringing up the rear.
Boy, would you look at that. Gringo Loco actually made it down the track without taking out another car.
Ricky, do you really want to be making fun of our sponsor? You know, the guy who puts up all the metal signs around the track, the guy who sells your t-shirts, the guy who makes all your merchandise.
Well, when you put it like that, of course I do.
No, why do I even try with you? Anyways, as we watch the replay, here you see Lone Star with a commanding lead as he comes out of the chicane. He hits the wall coming out, but he's able to keep it correct as he goes down to the final stretch. Here you see him with absolutely no problems whatsoever. If you watch behind him, there you see the battle for the second place between Old Sarge and Boondocks, as Boondocks comes out on top.
Well, I guess now that Gringo Loco's done tearing up the track, we can go and check out the final scores.
As we tally up the final points, here's how they finish. With a total of 5 points at the bottom of the stack, it's going to be Gringo Loco. Up next for 12 points, it's going to be Boondocks. And we have a tie for the first place position with 2 drivers moving on to round 2. It's going to be Old Sarge and Lone Star with both 15 points. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with Team Muscle.
The following announcement has been brought to you by the Cousin Ricky Order.
That's right, Cousin Ricky fans. You've been asking, and here they are. It's the all-new line of Cousin Ricky t-shirts straight from Merch by Meekin. And to go along with every single t-shirt sale, you also get the brand new CRO Cousin Ricky Order stickers. And speaking of Cousin Ricky Order shirts, they're available in multiple sizes, so be sure to go to merchbymeekin.com and order yours today. Oh, and just like how I've hijacked Funkhauser's channel, I've also hijacked the prices on his merchandise, as all shirts are now on sale for $19.99. So be sure to go to merchbymeekin.com, on Facebook, or call and order yours today when I still have control.
The preceding announcement has been brought to you by the Cousin Ricky Order.
Welcome back to the action, race fans, here at the old Yadkin Valley Speedway, as the Funkhauser Diecast Racing League proudly brings you round 1, Group 4 of the Midnight Club Tournament, sponsored by Merch by Meekin.
This is it, race fans. You waited long enough, and now it's time for Team Muscle to take the track. So now talking, let's get down to these driver introductions.
Starting us off, he's driving a 2019 Ford Mustang, weighing in at 60 grams. For G-Force Racing, it's Giorgio. Up next, driving a 1994 Thunderbird, also weighing in at 60 grams. For 409 Diecast Racing, it's Rosie. Starting in a third place spot, driving a 1965 Ford Mustang, weighing in at 59.9 grams. For Dutch Clutch Racing, it's Dutch Vandershift. And finally, in the fourth place spot, driving a 1971 AMC Javelin AMX, weighing in at 59 grams. For Hot Nuts Racing, it's Crickster Sr. We got 4 Fords taking on 1 AMC in this Team Muscle lineup.
And with 2 Mustangs in this group, You know carnage is just waiting to happen.
Oh, come on, Ricky, not with this again. You know Ford is an acronym for First on Race Day.
Yeah, and backwards it's driver returns on foot.
Yeah, well, that's yet to be seen as race 1 is underway and Giorgio has a commanding lead as he is just pulling away from the other drivers. Rosie is trying her best to catch up to him, but Giorgio is continuously pulling away as he's already down the super stretch, heading down into turn 4, and it looks like Giorgio is going to take race 1. Oh, Rosie gets turned around backwards and she gets slammed by Craigser Sr. as he comes across the line.
Well, it may not have been a Mustang getting turned around in this one, but a Ford is a Ford.
Oh, come on, Ricky. Anyways, let's go check out this replay camera as there you see the Mustang being driven by Giorgio with a commanding lead. Rosie is trying her best to catch up to him as she has Craigser Sr. right there on her tail. Meanwhile, Giorgio is keeping his eyes on his rearview mirror because that's all he has to watch as he gets clean and smooth down in the turn 3. He gets a little loose coming out of it, but he keeps it straight heading down in the turn 4.
Now let's switch it up and watch the final turn cam. As you see the cars coming out, keep your eyes on Rosie as she hits the outside retaining wall, causing your car to go to the inside as she gets slammed by Craigser Sr., who tries to make the pass, but she's able to correct it going backwards.
And as you said, there goes Craigser Sr. and Dutch coming across the line. All cars making it across as here we have our first points put on the board. Up first, it's Giorgio with 5 points, followed by Rosie with 4. Then you've got Craigser Sr. with 3, and Dutch Vanderschiff sitting up there with 2. As we are set and ready for race 2, which is now underway. As they head down the backstretch in the turn 1, it's Rosie with the advantage as she has Giorgio right there on her tail. Oh, here comes Craigser Sr. with a nice run down the turn as he challenges for the lead.
Wow, contact! They're together as it going to 3.
Craigser Sr. takes the lead as Rosie gets pushed into the wall by Giorgio. As they come down to the line, it's going to be Craigser Sr. coming in first, followed by Rosie. Then it's Giorgio and Dutch coming up in the rear.
Wait, what'd you just say?
Nope, stop, Ricky. Trust me, I heard it myself. Let's just move on.
You know kids watch this show, right?
Ricky! Anyways, let's go back and watch this replay as here you see Rosie with a nice lead as he has Giorgio giving her a push, but Craigser Sr.'s not having any of it as he gets a nice run going down in the turn 2 as he gets the lead, but Rosie's not done yet as she tries to make a move into chicane. As they come out, they collide heading down into turn 3.
Of course, as they're tangled up, Craigser Sr.'s trying his best to correct as he's able to keep the snow straight. As Rosie gets turned around, she hits the inside retaining wall.
More like she was pushed into the retaining wall. As you see the turn 3 camera here, she's trying her best to keep it off the apron. She just barely misses the tire barrier as Giorgio pushes her up. She hits the retaining wall, but all the drivers are able to continue on and finish this run.
As we update the scorecard, check this out. We have a tie for the first place position.
And it ain't just a tie, it's a 3-way tie for the first place spot as Giorgio, Rosie, and Craigser Sr. all have 8 points going into race 3.
Get your popcorn ready, kids. Team Muscle's creating that drama as it's time for race 3.
Out the starting gate, and look at the jump that Craigser Sr. just got as he has pulled away from the other drivers. He has at least a 3-car length lead heading down in the turn 2. Dutch is trying his best to keep up, but Craigser Sr. is just pulled away as he goes down the super stretch into the final turn. Oh, he spins around. His car loses momentum. Here comes Dutch Vanderschiff. He takes the win.
Oh, and on top of that, looks like we have trouble down in turn 4 as both Giorgio and Rosie come to a stop.
This race was all Craigser Sr.'s to take, but he lost control of the car as soon as he saw the start-finish line. Here we are checking in on both Giorgio and Rosie, whose cars came to a stop, sitting down at the entrance and exit of turn 4. As we check in on there, you see Craigser Sr. sitting there at the start-finish line, just barely missing it as they have a triple DNF.
And talk about what a break for Dutch as a triple DNF, and him coming out on top gives him a huge boost in the points.
Well, we can talk about the points here in a minute, as here you see Craigser Sr. all alone down to super stretch, heading into the turn 4, but watch as he comes out, he hits the outside retaining wall, his car loses control as he hits the inside retaining wall, he spins around and loses all the momentum. Here comes Dutch, seeing the opportunity, he takes it as he takes the win.
As you look behind them down in the turn 4, you see the cars of Rosie and Giorgio come to a stop. Let's check out the turn 3 camera and see what happened to them.
As we watch these 3 Fords go down in the turn 3, keep your eyes on Dutch as he comes out of the turn. He gets a little squirrely. This causes Giorgio to check up as his car loses complete control as Rosie slams into the back of him as they slide down the super stretch heading into turn 4. Unfortunately, they're unable to break loose from each other as they come to a halt down at the middle of the turn.
Now, how about this was an excitement as we check out the leaderboard? We have a new car on top.
Right, you are, Ricky, as there you see Dutch Vanderschiff moving up into the top spot with 9 points as we have a tie for the second place spot with 8 points. As we move into the final race, it's anyone's competition to win as it's time for race 4.
Here we go down the backstretch. Final time down into turn 1.
They're neck and neck, but Giorgio has the advantage as they go down to the S-turns. Giorgio just takes off down the turn 2.
Ooh, he must have a supercharger in that thing as he just took off.
Keep your eyes on the cars behind him as the battle for second place is heating up as they go down the turn 3. Down the final stretch, it's going to be Giorgio taking the final race. Oh, looks like we have the cars colliding as Craigser Sr. comes across the line in second.
Giorgio took off and did not look back as he just took that win with absolute ease.
That may have been an easy win for him, but the battle for second place was where the toughest racing was going on, as here we see the aftermath. As there you see Dutch Vandershift and Rosie sitting down at the exit of turn 4 in the tire pit.
While the emergency crews are helping them out, let's go back and check out that last replay.
As we watch the cars go down in the turn 2, there you see Giorgio with a nice comfortable lead, as there you see Rosie trying her best to keep up with him. As Giorgio comes out of the chicane, he hits the inside retaining wall, but he's able to keep it straight as he goes down in the turn 3. As he comes out of the turn, there you see the battle for second place heating up as all 3 of those cars are together. Now let's go down to the turn 3 camera and see what happened here.
About that, Funk. May have accidentally just hit the delete button.
What? You mean we don't have any turn 3 camera footage?
Yeah, that's my bad, but check this out. I can zoom in with the finish line camera as here you see the cars colliding as they come out of turn 4.
Oh yeah, Ricky, I'm sure the fans really appreciate the fact that they see the ending of the wreck instead of how it all took place. Please tell me again why it is I allow you to come up here and push buttons.
Because I'm your only cousin and you love me.
First off, you're not my only cousin, but anyways, let's put that aside and check out the leaderboard here, as here they are our final points. At the bottom of the stack, it's Rosie with a total of 8 points. With a total of 9 points in third place, it's Dutch Vandershift. In second place, with a total of 12 points, it's Craigser Sr. And the winner of this event, with a total of 13 points, it's Giorgio.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have all of our drivers moving on to round 2, which means it's time for Team Muscle to start taking on Team Tuner.
Right, y'all, Ricky. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being a part of the action here today, as that wraps things up for round 1, Group 4. Before we go, we always want to give that big shout out and thank you to all you race fans for being a part of the racing action here today. And if you love the content you've seen, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to comment and share as we try to beat the YouTube algorithm and bring you more exciting racing action here from the old Yadkin Valley Speedway, home to the Winston-Salem Racing Series and the Funkhauser Diecast Racing League. Of course, before we go, we also want to thank our sponsor, Merch by Meekin, who provides all the racing signage you see around the track. If you have any custom gift ideas you would like, make sure to contact Merch by Meekin, as he has all the gift ideas you need. Merch by Meekin. Gotta love those signs. And finally, before we go, we always want to give that big special shout out and thank you to all the members of the Funkhauser fan club, as it is your contributions to help our channel grow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time for round 2.
This has been a presentation of the Funkhauser Diecast Racing League.